He did go on, though, didn't he? He never bloody stopped. It was like living with the History Channel on a loop. Roland stepped closer, his voice dropping to an angry hiss. You've got to remember that a lot of blokes lost their lives for our liberty. Trotter, they died just so that 50 years later, ungrateful prats like you would have the freedom to stand here and knock them. All right? Those pride flared. He wasn't about to be lectured by some bloke in a cheap suit. Take it easy, pal. I tell you what, Roland, have they got a garden here? 'Cause I think you and I ought to go outside and have a more detailed chat about who's calling who a prat. Rodney grabbed Dell's arm in a panic. Come on, Dell, leave it. We're at a funeral. Go on, Dad, bake him. Young Damien cheered, throwing a tiny punch in the air. No, hold on, Dell said, realizing he was about to start a brawl at a wake. He backed down, holding his hands up defensively. I didn't mean to upset anybody. Calm down. All right, we're all grieving. Emotions running a bit high. That's all. He retreated to a corner with Rodney, fuming. I'll tell you another thing, Dell muttered to his brother. None of our lot have bothered to turn up, have they? Poor show. You'd have thought Trigger, Denzel, or Boyke would have made the effort. It is a bit of a journey from London, Dell, Rodney pointed out. I'll tell you what, good old Mike would have made more of an effort to get here, and he's currently locked up in Wormwood Scrubs, Dell grumbled. He looked around the room, trying to find a friendly face. Yeah, I bet old Bunny's up there right now, looking down on us and having a right laugh. Marion, the cleaner, overheard him and frowned. Bunny? Why did you call him Bunny? Well, that's what they called him in the RAF, didn't they? Dell explained confidently. Because his surname was Warren. Albert Warren. Bunny Warren. Get it? Marion stared at him, bewildered. His surname wasn't Warren. It was Trotter, like yours. And he wasn't in the RAF. He was in the Merchant Navy. Dell froze. He looked at Rodney. Rodney looked at Dell. They both slowly turned to look at the framed photograph resting on the mantelpiece, a photograph of a bald man with a thick black mustache, who looked absolutely nothing like Uncle Albert. Is that a Spitfire, Dad? Damien asked, pointing out the window. Rodney buried his face in his hands. Oh, my God! We're at the wrong funeral. They had spent 20 minutes insulting a dead war hero named Bunny Warren in front of his devoted family. The Trotters made a hasty, highly embarrassing exit, sprinting to the hired car under the cover of Roland's furious shouts. Chapter 5. The Inland Revenue Strikes. If burying Uncle Albert, eventually finding the correct crematorium, was the emotional low point of the month, the financial low point arrived shortly after in a brown envelope bearing the stamp of Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. The Trotters found themselves seated in the drab, sterile office of their government-appointed insolvency practitioner. Gentlemen, the official began, adjusting his spectacles. You have my deepest sympathy for your recent bereavement, but I must bring you back to the matter in hand. The collapse of Trotter's independent traders and your subsequent tax liabilities. Dell leaned forward, adopting his most sincere expression. Are there any mitigating circumstances you'd like me to inform the court of? Because you must remember to tell them that we were absolute slaves to detail, weren't we, Rodney? Absolutely, Rodney lied smoothly. Meticulous record keeping. We made certain that we always got our checks off to the Inland Revenue on time, Dell insisted. Every quarter, regular as clockwork. The official flipped open a thick file. Fair dues, Mr. Trotter. The checks were always on time. However, they all bounced, every single one of them, for the past 3 years. Dell slumped back in his chair, defeated. The reality was inescapable. The court declared Derek Trotter officially bankrupt. Back at the flat, the atmosphere was funereal once again. Rodney was pouring heavily from a bottle of cheap scotch. So you both got off? Raquel asked hopefully, pouring Dell a cup of tea. Not quite, Rodney muttered, taking a large gulp of the fiery liquid. You sit down, Raquel. You might need something stronger than tea. What happened? Dad, Damien asked, looking up from his violent video game. The court declared me bankrupt. Son, Dell said quietly. Does that mean you're going to prison? Damien asked, his eyes lighting up with genuine excitement. Like Mike? No, Dell snapped. Well, not yet. Raquel glared at her son. Why does he keep going on about prison? All his mates' dads are doing time, Rodney explained unhelpfully. He feels left out at school. He wants street cred. Damien, go to your room and tidy it, Raquel ordered. I did it this morning. Well, go and tidy it again. Once the boy was gone, Raquel turned to Dell, panic rising in her chest. So, what exactly does bankruptcy mean for us, Derek? It means that the Inland Revenue give you a year to pay off your debt, Dell explained heavily. If you can't pay it, then they come in and take all your goods. Well, anything of any value, anyway. Raquel breathed a sigh of relief, looking around the dilapidated flat with its floral sofa and broken television set. So it won't affect us, then. We haven't got anything of value. We have got something of value, Raquel, Dell corrected her grimly. You're sitting in it, this flat. It's our home, and it's the only asset I've got left. They'll steal the roof over our heads. Well, have you got an idea, then, Rodney? Raquel asked, turning to the younger brother. Rodney scoffed. Me? No. I mean, Dill's had this place on the market for 5 years, trying to sell it, and no one's even looked at it. It's structurally unsound. That's because I had it up for its true market value, Dell protested. I was waiting for the right buyer, an investor with vision, but the taxman won't wait. They'll come along and auction it off for a third of its price just to clear the debt.